Welcome back, guys. I'm here with my friend Nick Bova at Hamilton Farms on the Hickory course. And you guys know, this is like the ultimate par 3 course, right? Like,
oh yeah.
It's the only, what was it again?
It's the only 18-hole USGA rated par 3 in the United States.
And let me tell you, it is really hard. We're on the second hole here. And this is like a real golf course. And the par 3s I'm used to are shorter, pitch and putt, grab up just a few clubs, cocktail, a putter, and you kind of go. Here, you need 12 clubs. You don't need your driver, although there's 240-yard par 3s.
Yeah.
But it's downhill. You definitely don't need your driver. But anything after a 3-wood, you absolutely need it. And the great part is, around these greens, it's so tricky. Greens are pretty small. The bunker complex, amazing. Green complex is amazing. And they got really deep rough. And we're gonna kind of talk about this shot right here. You know, ball's not sitting extremely down, definitely not sitting up. We've got a short-sided, I don't know, we're probably like 12 yards from where the green starts. Green's going away from you. What are you thinking about here? What's going through your mind?
So first thing I'm thinking as I'm walking up to this shot is how high do I need to hit this ball to get it to stop, say, within 10 to 15 feet of that hole location, right? So typically it's, for me, it's my 58 degree. I'm walking up to this golf ball and I'm starting to assess the lie. Mm-hmm. Right, so I'm taking a look. Okay, if it's sitting up, I can hoist it really high. If it's sitting down, I have to be a little bit more conservative with, say, my landing spot, and not trying to get too cute with it.
Sure.
I think that choosing the proper landing spot is not done enough by the average player, because they're just thinking, okay, I just gotta kind of hit it somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think if we pinpoint a landing spot,
okay,
it gives you more direction in terms of what it is that you're trying to
do.
Sure.
Right,
you're not just aimlessly hitting it and just hoping.
Right. I like this because I've always been an advocate. Like, do you pick a landing spot? And I don't. But this is where I'm going to kind of, where I say I like what Nick's saying, because one of the biggest things is it's basically like have a plan.
Yes.
And an approach. And that's one of the things that I think about is why I'm not an advocate of a specific landing spot is too many amateurs only care about the landing spot and not enough about everything else, the trajectory, the lie. So they're like, if I hit this spot at all costs, it's like, no, not if you hit it low or not if you hit it high.
Yes.
You know, we've done other videos where we're talking about a shot where we're running it up the hill on a plateau, and it's not so much about, it's more about the speed and the trajectory, and the landing area needs to be kind of in this area.
Yeah.
But
so I give all of my players like a 3-part rule, right? So when you're coming up to a shot like this, well, any shot around the green where you miss the green, first thing you're doing is you're looking at where you want to land the spot, or where you want to land the ball, so your landing spot. Second piece of that is I'm trying to figure out how high I need to hit it to land it on that spot to get it within reason to that hole.
Yep.
And then my third piece of it is what club am I now going to use to allow me to do that?
Yeah, that's a great process.
Right? And I think if you walk into every single short game shot around the green, whether it's a bunker, whether it's you're on a false front, whatever it is, where if you use kind of those 3 steps, it allows you to really formulate a game plan of how it is that you want to play that particular shot.
I like it. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about kind of what's going through my head. Left of this whole location, it's a severe false towards the tee box. And that ball will roll all the way off the green, absolutely. So immediately I'm looking a little bit deeper, a little bit more right. Even though I can go right at it and hit this one close, I know that that's kind of like on the left side of where I want to err. I'm thinking more to the right. When I see all this rough is pretty thick and it's heavy. I don't have too bad of a lie, but I don't have a great lie. The only place that I can't miss it is short. especially when I'm hitting high shots, and something that we talk about all the time with amateurs. If you're hitting a really, really high shot, and this is going to be a pretty high shot, the only place you can't miss it is short.
Yep.
Or you wouldn't have to hit it high. Why hit it high?
Yeah.
Right? And it's obvious, and a lot of times we think about these shots in a way where it's okay. Well, like I don't want to hit it short, but don't hit it too far. And it's like, no, you should err on the too far side, because if you err too far, you'll make bogey. You err short, you'll make double.
Exactly.
And too many times I think without that approach, you miss the approach of like your process of thinking about it. So it doesn't matter how good of a shot you hit, you've already have a bad plan.
Yes.
Yep. Let's see. I'm going 60. I'm going 60. I'm gonna hit one first. I'm gonna hit one.
Okay.
With my 60, I like to go open club face, pretty long, lanky swing, very big. I like to hold my finish, and I'm gonna go a little bit right and a little bit longer. All right. Ooh, got a little wind into us. It's gonna help. Came out higher than I thought. I like it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. This rough's so heavy. My golf ball position is roughly a little bit forward of center. Club face is open, and I generally make. I'm such a big advocate of this longer, slower swing, and I like hitting shots out of the rough. When you hit it, you can feel the interaction with the grass, and it kind of teaches you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see you hit one and kind of run us through a little bit of kind of what you're thinking about here.
Okay, so again, as I set up to it, I'm going through my kind of rule of three. I'm picking my landing spot. I'm figuring out what trajectory I need to hit it to get it to that landing spot, and then I'm choosing the club. So I see a little like pine needle on the green, about 8 feet on the green. Okay, I know that I'm going to have to hit it pretty high to get it there, and I'm going to use an open faced. I have a 58 degree. Now, I love the long flowiness that James talks about, but I personally like to see a little bit of a shorter finish.
Okay.
Right, I like to see the little bit of a shorter finish because I find that players have a tendency to almost like slow down so much when they're trying to go into a fuller finish that they have a tough time getting out of that grass.
Yeah.
Right. So
I can see that.
I like a fuller backswing with a little bit more of an abbreviated follow through.
Okay. I like it.
So I'm going to get here. I'm going to play the ball a little bit further forward in my stance. I'm going to really open up that face. I'm going to take a big, long, flowy with a little bit of a shorter finish.
Let's see it.
It actually almost landed on the spot.
He hit the spot that he was talking about, that pine needle. He hit it. That's why he's a lot closer. I play it much more conservative out to the right, but I'm deathly afraid of Hamilton Farms. I mean, it's tough out here. One of the things that we talk about a lot is like, what clubs do you use? Out here, it's bent grass, it's tight, it's pretty soft. Generally, I don't imagine this golf course is playing really, really firm fairways.
The fairways could get firm depending on kind of what we get weather-wise.
Okay.
If we get some rain, it's going to be a little bit softer.
Yeah.
But if we go through a stretch where we got a little bit of a dry spell, it can firm up actually pretty good.
Do you feel that? Do you ever change? You're up here in the Northeast. Do you ever change bounce or wedge selection depending on the type of grass or the course?
So I don't personally, because I feel like when I do that, I have to change how I play the shots.
Okay.
Right. So I'm a guy. I've got a Vokey 58-12.
Okay.
Right. So and I know for me something with a little less loft doesn't really work. Doesn't work well for me.
Yep.
Right. So when I go and I grab yours, and that's got what, 4 degrees?
Yeah, maybe? 4 or 5.
Right.
Not much.
I look at that and I'm like, my brain says I'm going to dig that all day long.
Yeah.
Right. So I do know guys that do adjust bounces based on what the terrain gives them.
Sure.
But I'm not one of those guys. I think you keep one, you get really good with one, and you just understand that sometimes there's hole locations where you just can't hit it close to.
Right. Yeah. I go from the firmest golf courses in the world to the softest golf courses in the world to the tightest golf courses in the world. I mean, United States, we have the tightest grass. Like, we have the technology to mow it down.
Yeah.
Like in front of 11 yesterday. I mean, I've never seen fairway that tight.
Yeah.
Never in my life. And, I have no problem. But I also, just kind of from a skill standpoint, I don't change too much. If it's a little softer, I'll just open the face up, which adds a little bit of bounce.
Yep.
If it's firm, I square it up a little bit. And, I've really developed the skill to get good with my tools.
Yes.
And they're pretty universal. If it gets really soft, I'll get my sand wedge out, open it up a lot.
Yep.
That's got a ton of bounce. That has more bounce than any 60 degree that money can buy.
Yep.
And that's kind of the approach. But it's kind of I always get asked the question, like, I live here and I play these type of conditions, what do you use? And we're at the same golf course, and I asked him this question because he's got more bounce and less loft. I have way more loft and way less bounce, yet we can still hit the shots. He hits it his way, I hit it my way. He's comfortable, he's developed the skill, comfortable doing it his way, and I'm comfortable doing it with my low bounce wedge. And if I had to hit his wedge, I wouldn't be as comfortable, I wouldn't be as confident. And I think vice versa, if he had to, I think he'd practice with it and get it pretty quickly because he's a great player. But, point being, kind of develop your own skill.
Yeah, I think that's a huge point. Developing the skills that you need with your own clubs, right, and really honing those in.
Sure.
And we've talked about this before, but spending the time to put the reps in.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think enough people spend the time to put the reps in awkward situations and scenarios. More what they actually see on the golf course.
Sure.
And I tell my players all the time, when you're just playing around for fun, right? Play the hole, finish the hole, take a ball, and you got 9 holes. Do 3 easy ones, 3 medium ones in terms of difficulty.
Yeah.
And then 3 hard ones, and then see what you can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And that kind of helps to build and develop that skill of how you need to hit all these different shots around.
Yeah,
the course.
you know what I'd like in the comments below is, I want you to think about how much you think about your mechanics and technique versus how much you actually practice it. It's something that we were talking about earlier, and I truly mean this. Think about it. Say, do I go on social media, or do I take lessons and think about what I'm supposed to do versus actually going out and do it? I've said so many times, a lot of lessons with me is not the answer. Take one, but practice what we worked on. It's going to be something simple, might not be easy. Simple's not always easy.
Yep.
And do it a lot so you can really build that skill.
Yep.
And, talking about different lies. How do you hit this lie? How do you hit that lie? How about you do it 300 times and ask that question again?
Yeah.
Yep. But thanks for having me out.
Yeah, James. Thank you for being here, man.
It's been awesome. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit that like button, and can't wait to see you on the next video.